Welcome back to Speak Smart, everyone. Today we're tackling a topic that I know resonates with so many of you, learning English from scratch. And not just learning it, but building a solid foundation in just 30 days. Sounds ambitious, right, Lucy?
It absolutely does, Jane. When I first heard English from zero in 30 days, my initial thought was, is that even possible? I mean, it feels like such a huge mountain to climb when you're starting from absolutely nothing. You hear people talk about years of study, and here we are saying a month?
It's a fair question, and it's something we want to unpack today. The key isn't to become fluent in 30 days. Let's be realistic, that's a journey that takes much longer. But what you can do is build an incredibly strong foundation, enough to really kickstart your journey and gain a lot of confidence. It's about setting yourself up for success, not expecting miracles overnight.
Okay, that distinction makes a lot more sense. So it's less about reaching the finish line and more about getting out of the starting blocks with purpose. I like that. For anyone feeling completely lost, where do you even begin? What's the very first step when you literally know zero English?
Exactly, and that's where our 30-day plan comes in. We've broken it down week by week to make it manageable. For that first week, it's all about the absolute basics. Think survival English, really. Common greetings are paramount. Hello, goodbye, please, thank you, excuse me. Those simple phrases open so many doors.
And everyday vocabulary, right? Like the things you'd point to in your house or in a shop, table, chair, water, food, the essentials.
Precisely. Focus on words that are immediately useful in your daily life, and then start piecing them into simple sentences. My name is, I am from, how are you? These are crucial for introducing yourself and engaging in those very first basic interactions. It might feel like baby steps, but every step is a win.
I remember when I was trying to learn a new language, the biggest hurdle was just getting over the fear of sounding silly. Even those basic greetings felt intimidating. How do you suggest people practice without feeling completely overwhelmed?
That's such a common feeling, Lucy. The best way to combat it in week 1 is through listening. Daily listening is non-negotiable. Even if you don't understand everything, or anything, at first, just immerse yourself. Listen to English songs, simple podcasts, children's stories, or even short news clips. Your brain starts to pick up on the rhythm, the intonation, and common sounds. It's like letting the language wash over you.
So it's almost like passive learning at first, just getting your ears used to the sounds before you're expected to produce them. That makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't expect a baby to speak before they've heard sounds for months, right?
Exactly the analogy I was thinking of. It's building that auditory foundation. By the end of week 1, you should feel comfortable with basic introductions and recognizing a few key phrases. You've gotten your feet wet, and that's a huge accomplishment.
Okay, so week 1 is greetings, basic vocab, simple intros, and tons of listening. Got it. What happens when we roll into week 2? Do we dive straight into complex grammar?
Not complex, but essential. Week 2 is where we start building on those basics with some simple reading and crucial grammar rules. Think short, very simple texts, maybe children's books or beginner-level articles online. The goal here isn't to read a novel, but to recognize the words you've been hearing and learn how they look on paper.
So, connecting the dots between the sound and the written word, that's a big one because English pronunciation can be tricky, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why, in week 2, we also start focusing on essential grammar. Don't let the word grammar scare you. We're talking about sentence structure. How do English sentences typically go together? Subject, verb, object. And then tackling the present tense verbs. I eat, you sleep, he works. These are the backbone of everyday conversation.
The present tense is definitely crucial. If you can't even say what you're doing right now, you're a bit stuck. And I imagine continuing the listening from week 1 is still important.
Absolutely, it's a constant thread throughout. But in week 2, we add a layer. Start repeating what you hear. This is where pronunciation really starts to develop. Mimic the sounds, try to get your mouth and tongue used to forming English words. It's going to feel awkward at first, but that's totally normal.
Ah, the parrot phase. I remember that. Just repeating after a native speaker, trying to match the intonation. It really does help, even if you don't fully understand why you're saying something yet.
Exactly. You're building muscle memory for your vocal cords, and by practicing those frequently used phrases, you're internalizing patterns, not just individual words. So week 2 is about merging listening with a bit of reading, understanding basic sentence construction, and really getting your mouth to start moving.
Okay, so we've built a bit of a foundation. We can say hello, identify a few things, read some simple sentences, and even try to mimic sounds. Now, what about week 3? This feels like where the real challenge begins, actually speaking.
You've hit the nail on the head, Lucy. Week 3 is all about increasing your speaking practice. This is often the biggest hurdle for learners, but it's also where you see the most incredible growth. One simple yet highly effective technique is to read short passages aloud.
Even if you don't understand every single word you're reading?
Yes, even then. The primary goal here is to get comfortable producing the sounds, connecting words, and practicing your rhythm and intonation. You're giving your voice a workout. Then we move to something more active, describing your daily activities in English.
Oh, like I wake up, I brush my teeth, I drink coffee.
Precisely. Start with very simple sentences describing your morning routine, what you ate for lunch, what you plan to do after work. Do this to yourself, out loud, in your head, or even record yourself. It forces you to retrieve vocabulary and construct sentences on the fly.
That sounds incredibly challenging, especially the on-the-fly part. My brain would automatically try to translate from my native language, which always takes so much extra time.
And that's the next big step for week 3. Try thinking in English instead of translating from your native language. This is a game changer. It's difficult at first, no doubt, but it's crucial for becoming more comfortable and natural with the language.
How do you even begin to do that? My brain is just wired to think in my first language.
Start small. Label things in your house in English. When you see an object, think of its English name. When you have a simple thought, try to frame it in English. For example, if you see a cat, don't think gato and then cat, just think cat. It takes conscious effort, but over time those neural pathways start to form. You're essentially training your brain to operate directly in English.
Wow, that sounds like a significant mental shift, but I can see how that would really accelerate the process of becoming more natural. It's about breaking that translation barrier.
Exactly. This week is all about pushing past the comfort zone, getting words out, and starting to build that internal English dialogue. And the most important thing during this week, and really throughout the entire 30 days, is do not worry about making mistakes.
Oh, that's such a relief to hear, because that fear of making a mistake is what silences so many people, myself included sometimes.
Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and improve. Think of it as data. You said something and it wasn't quite right. Great, now you know what to work on. It's a natural part of the learning process. Embrace those mistakes.
Okay, so week 3, we're getting vocal, describing our lives, and trying to think in English. That feels like a massive leap from week 1. So we've made it through 3 weeks. What's the grand finale, the final push in week 4?
Week 4 is where it all comes together. We combine all 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You've built up a base in each area, and now it's about integrating them more organically. One great way to do this is by watching simple videos.
Like cartoons or YouTube videos with subtitles?
Exactly. Start with content designed for English learners or even children's shows. Watch them with English subtitles, then without. Try to understand the context, the main ideas. It's active listening combined with reading.
And writing? That's another skill that can feel really daunting.
It doesn't have to be. Start with short paragraphs. Describe your day, write about a simple topic you're interested in, or summarize a short video you just watched. It forces you to think about sentence structure, vocabulary, and grammar in a written form, which really solidifies your understanding.
So instead of just speaking, you're now composing your thoughts in writing. That's a great way to reinforce everything. And then, the big one, having basic conversations.
Yes, absolutely, whenever possible. This could be with a language exchange partner, a tutor, or even just practicing with a friend who's also learning. The goal isn't to have deep philosophical debates, but to use the simple sentences and vocabulary you've learned. Ask and answer basic questions. Describe things. Just engage.
That's probably the most nerve-wracking part for many, actually putting it all into practice with another human.
It is, but it's also the most rewarding. Because that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To communicate. And again, don't worry about perfection. The purpose of these 30 days is progress, not perfection. Every word you speak, every sentence you write, every phrase you understand is a step forward.
So, by the end of week 4, someone who started from absolutely zero would actually be able to engage in some basic conversations, understand simple videos, read short texts, and write a few sentences. That's actually pretty incredible for just 30 days.
It truly is. The secret sauce throughout all of this is consistency. Dedicating just 30 to 60 minutes each day. It's not about huge marathon study sessions that burn you out. It's about showing up every single day, even for a short time, and building those habits.
Consistency really is key, isn't it? Better 30 minutes every day than 3 hours once a week. Your brain needs that regular exposure.
Absolutely. And remember what we said about mistakes. They're part of the process. Don't let the fear of being imperfect stop you from trying. Fluency is a journey, not a destination you reach in 30 days.
So these first 30 days are really just the beginning of an exciting path, a way to get you off the ground and soaring toward confidence in English communication.
Exactly. Think of it as laying a really solid foundation for a skyscraper. You won't have the skyscraper built in 30 days, but you'll have a base strong enough to support it, and that's incredibly empowering.
I feel so much more encouraged hearing this breakdown. It sounds challenging, but completely achievable 1 week at a time. It removes that feeling of being completely overwhelmed.
That's exactly what we hoped for. So if you've been putting off learning English, or if you feel like you're starting from zero, this is your sign. Take these tips, break it down week by week, dedicate that consistent time, and just start. You'll be amazed at the progress you can make.
It truly is an exciting path toward confidence and success. Don't wait, start your 30-day English learning journey today. You've got this.
Thanks for joining us on Speak Smart, and we'll catch you next time with more tips to help you master your language goals.